Joystick, the Joystick Show. Up, down, down, left, right, B, A, select.
Start.
Welcome, gamers, to our Twisted Reality. I'm feeling peppy, my boy.
Joystick, the Joystick Show.
Oh yeah, back at it. Actually, to the day, 1 month. Huh? We're getting better at this. I think. Anyways, I don't know. How you doing? We are the Joystick Show. Thanks for tuning in and listen to us rant. We are a father and son combination. In case you didn't hear in the past, or you're new to the show. In case you didn't hear, I don't know where they hear. You know, all our huge media blitzes that we do, right?
Yeah.
Just get ran across it somehow. I don't know. We go by our gamer tags. I'm Bogue Spear.
I'm Thing 12.
And you are listening now and officially anointed the Rumble Pack. Thanks for listening to us. And we're going to talk a little video games, a little rant and rave about the difference in, generational differences, even though it's kind of homogenizing here over the past few years in doing so. And we've been doing this now for quite a few years, right? I think just hopping on when we can, kind of discussing what we've been playing, which is part of the On the Gaming Front segment. We'll jump into the news, a little bit of maybe some, if there's any riff-rap, as we call it, if there's anything going on in the virtual world. And then... get right to the deal of the week and then releases.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what we do each and every time. So, I was going to say we had sponsors, but really, I don't have a set sponsor for this term because we actually decided we were just going to go straight patronage, right? And so far we've been getting crushed with that, making so much money, we really didn't need sponsors. So that's why we didn't include it this week, that's all. But I'm sure we'll have another next week ready to go. But if you want to be a part of the show, how do they get a hold of us?
You can contact us at JoystickShow. You can do JoystickShow.com, our website, JoystickShow@gmail.com, our email, or on Discord for @joystick_show. Or no, just @joystick_show, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Got it. Cool. All right, so let's talk on the gaming front. And what are you up to? What's been going on?
So I played from start to finish since last time Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. Do you know what that stands for?
What? Tsushima?
Fatherly love. That's what it means in Japanese.
Well, in this game, it's just an island.
Oh, okay.
It's Tsushima, Ghost of Tsushima, and basically, it's set in. We're watching Shogun. It's set in the same time period as Shogun.
We're watching Shogun,
and it's really cool. Like it's almost like Assassin's Creed in the sense that it's all like open, but it takes like a completely different take on it.
But is it Assassin's Creed with geisha girls?
It's Assassin's Creed with samurai.
Okay,
and it's cool.
All
it's
right.
but it's more than that because it's just it's like a really pretty game. Like the whole like Japanese culture or I guess just I've never been in Japan, so I don't know if it actually looks like this. But the whole there's like colorful flowers everywhere and trees.
Yeah. You should
and
go.
There's flowers falling everywhere and everything. And it's just a really good looking game.
Yeah.
And it's also really cool. You play as a samurai and there's like you have different stances with your sword. So you have like a stone stance, a wind stance, a water stance. Instead of actually like taking a supernatural approach to it, it's all just a samurai that knows all these techniques.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. So the fighting is really satisfying. You kind of go around and just you're basically the Mongol Empire is invading your island of samurai, which is like your samurai your whole different samurai, I guess what's the word, like army,
right,
separate from the shogun and his on the mainland, and you're on the island off of it, and the Mongol Empire invaded and almost like took all of you out, but you're like the last of the samurai.
Ooh.
And the whole like samurai,
you're just pissed off.
Samurai have a code that's like at least in this game they do, I don't know if it's everywhere,
they did.
But a code of honor, obviously.
Sure.
And so like when you face somebody, you face them head on. You don't do like stealth. You shouldn't, like, everyone has a fair chance.
Oh really? That's kind of cool
them,
mechanics.
But in this game, there is stealth, and there is all this, and it's about you being. They call you the ghost because you're abandoning this honor in order to try and.
See, that's weird because I thought it might be cool to like have to play a game where they penalize you for going like not directly.
That's what I like. That's the one thing. That's one of the things I didn't like about it was that. I think it would have been cool if you could choose whether or not you want to be like honorable or whatever.
Honorable, not honorable. Yeah.
But they
like Fable 3 back in the day, you could choose.
The story kind of makes you take that like the dishonorable approach, and like you do a lot of assassinating and like.
And there's no variance to that.
And even and it basically like it's not only just the main missions that make you do it, but it's some of the side missions. You can't really approach just without stealth because like if you get caught, you lose or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
So that's kind of annoying about it. So you kind of do have to, but at the same time, I do like the whole overall story where you're turning bad and the ending, or you're not bad, but you're just abandoning the code in order to save everybody from the Mongol Empire.
Very Americanizing it.
But it's cool. Like, in the ending of it was really good.
Oh, you finished it?
I finished it, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I originally was going to go for the platinum, 100%ing it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the missions and everything are very...
Oh, so this is at your PS5?
Yeah. It's a PS exclusive.
No kidding.
But I think it's coming to PC soon.
Oh, that's cool.
I was going to platinum it, but that's the other bad thing is a lot of the missions that you do are very repetitive. It's all the same. So while the combat is really fun and it keeps you going, at some point you just...
And what's it called again? What's it called?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. And now, what are the what are some of the differences in the game that you found that were cool that there's not in every other game? Because I find every game being homogenized too. Like it's the same kind of play, right?
Yeah.
I mean, was there anything that stood out in it that made it? I mean, like Spider-Man, you really love because that's so unique, right? I mean, like who can do a Spider? You have to have certain mechanics, different. That's why I think superhero games and why that kind of situation. You know what I mean, has its kind of uniqueness, right? You know, because every superhero has a certain power, right? That power in itself drives a certain mechanic, I feel, right?
I would say its combat is most unique with the different stances with the sword, because if you say you have to...
Do you use your joysticks, joysticks, or do you use button mashing?
You use button, but how it works is if an enemy comes up to you with a sword, you use stone stance, because you're fighting somebody with a sword, and stone stance is most effective against it. If somebody's coming up to you with a shield and a sword, you use water stance, and so you switch your stances.
Oh, interesting.
And what's interesting is when you have like 10 people around you, and one is a shield and sword, one is a sword, one is a spear, which you use wind, and then one of them's like a big guy, so you use
the whole
shadow stance or something like that.
Stance. There's 10 of them around you.
But when there's a ton of them, you're constantly switching between stances mid-fight.
Oh, right, because of how they are.
So the combat's pretty unique like that.
Neat.
And that's what keeps it fun and engaging. And then the other thing, it's very small, but instead of most games, like when you have objectives that you have to follow on a map, they put a compass on the top of your screen.
Yeah.
And then you follow, like you look around, you follow where that objective you go. This game, there's a map, but if you swipe up on the PS pad, wind kind of in the game flows or whatever, and you see the direction the wind is going, and that's the direction you go.
Interesting.
It's kind of taken away by the fact that you can just open the map and see the direction, but it's really cool.
That way you don't have to do, which is not a bad thing either.
So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's not the mechanics that make it super unique. It's just the
beauty too.
Yeah.
And so, this was included in your pass, your game pass. What do they call it? PS Pass or
PS Plus.
PS Plus.
PS Plus. Yeah.
So that's really coming on, huh? As far as
they're pretty good. Yeah.
Decent system. Mm-hmm. Nice. Well, as you might have, based on my intro, what do you think I'm playing?
Well, I know what you're playing, but I don't know from the intro.
What?
I'll say. Well, yeah. You want to say
Peppy Boys? Pep Boy?
Oh, Pip Boy.
Pip Boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so that's right. I spelled it wrong. So I am playing Pip Boy. I'm playing Fallout because why? We got all into the movie, the show, not the movie.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't watched it yet?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's right. You said you hadn't. That's right. We were watching Shogun. That's why you haven't seen that. So we're all into it. Me and old PQ, we're actually back playing now. I started doing the Fallout 4 because that was the one, solo. But I told you I don't like doing solo. I get playing. I'm like, I could be designing a board game. I could be doing something else with somebody else. I just like doing, right? The solo thing just doesn't work for me as much anymore. But so we started doing the 76 Fallout 76, which again was glitchy as heck, right? And so we went back and played it. So get this. Now, this is the biggest problem where it's cash grab for sure. But when you go on, you can play in the whole general setting again, right? If you remember, those that may have not played it or haven't played it in a while, probably solved it. It's kind of like that pain in the ass situation where it's like Rust or one of those ones where you could be playing and all of a sudden everybody just comes on and destroys you, right? And ruins all your crap that you just spent hours and hours doing. Can't do that. My capacity for that no longer exists. I get rage against the machine when that happens. So we're like, okay, well, is there private? So we went on and sure enough, there's private, but they charge for it. So if you want your own private server, you had to do it. So I'm thinking it was like $6.99 for a month and then like $12.99 after or whatever. I was like, I don't know. So we finally said, let's do it. Well, we go to do it and the $6.99's gone. So now it's $12.99 to start. Now I'm like, oh my God. You know, a little frugal on the money, but we're like, do you want to try this? So we ended up doing it. We actually bought it and then canceled it right away. So we got the 1 month to play it to see if we like it. And at the $12, it was like 14 bones bill. You know, Jesus. It was brutal. But so we started. I'm like, all right. But the truth of the matter is, it's just so that we can just build, you know, in our own server and do it without having to get beat up on. So we started doing that, and it's cool. It reminded me, and I think we mentioned this before, of one of the few talking about mechanics of why more games don't take cool mechanics and put them in their games, right? Why don't they actually copy them? Like the whole thing about your, I say tech tree or your agility abilities, right? Is not just a tech tree, or not just like things you see a lot of times, but it's based on cards that you get, like playing cards. And you can go in and pick the card you want. Not that it's a bigger deal. I mean, it still kind of does the same thing, but you have a variety of different things you can choose from versus saying, okay, you can go left and go 1, 2, or 3, right? Or pick this one, or this one. So in that case, it's kind of cool. Plus, it sticks to the narrative and everything of it, and the kind of cheekiness of the whole deal. But you can actually pick how you want your guy to grow and develop. Kind of reminds me of like, you know, Crackdown. I don't know if you remember that game, Crackdown 2, Crackdown 3, all those games. So, excuse me. So that we started doing that. Had a blast. I mean, just playing it. And the cool thing is that you're playing against baddies and you're trying to build. My problem is, like everything else, I'm a hoarder. I'm a hoarder in real life, I guess, and I'm a hoarder on the games too. Because I'm always the one that's like tailing behind. Can't get there because I even got a card that says like all your equipment is like 50% less weight. I'm just carrying this stuff around like Santa Claus and a kind of thing. Like I'm never going to use any of this stuff. But I have to. But you can do your crafting and do all your mods and stuff like that still. So not a lot of change in the game. I take that back. There's a version we're playing which is like, I guess there's an alien version too you can play. So it's kind of like Rainbow Six. They have these special things that come out that you can play that are kind of theme based, right? To do it. So we did that, and we've been playing that along, and it's been fun just to get back on the console. It's on Xbox. We're playing it. So the Game Pass, again, at least Game Pass, I'm getting my $18 worth on that because I didn't have to buy the game, right, to do it, and then so forth. But do you remember playing that at all? Or
76?
Yeah.
No. Well, actually, I remember like the first 10 minutes of it. That's as far as I got, and I remember like walking down this path or whatever. And then I didn't get far. I know the only thing I know about it is that it is like Rust, in the sense that you're playing with other people on a server, and then you can take all of their things and bring them back to your base, right? And I thought it was pretty cool. You could just send nukes on other people.
Well,
I don't know.
That's what we're gonna get to on it. Yeah, that's a big thing.
And so at first I was like really cool, but I never got into it because it was buggy when it first came out.
It's still a little buggy, honestly.
Yeah, and I wasn't even into Rust when it came out, so I wasn't like huge into that whole thing. But yeah, I didn't get far into it. I liked Fallout 4 though. Fallout 4, I
that would definitely be more your style because you'll play solo games, like you'll get into that.
Yeah,
it's worth probably going back, especially if you actually watch the TV series.
I don't think I ever beat Fallout 4, but I got really far.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing. We're playing that. And it's been a good time. Like I said, just going through it. But it's, you know, I got to go back to old school, play some older games. But it was pretty fun. So that's what we are doing. All right, it's time for the news.
The Joystick News Report. Joystick News.
All right, so it's a good segue actually. Speaking of nuking, did you see there was some news on there? And I was checking out. Of course, anytime now Fallout 76 shows up or anything comes up. I mean, obviously, it's picking up a little steam because of the show and everything. playing. But I guess the thing came out that Phil Spencer, obviously the head of Xbox and everything, plays.
Yeah.
And he's got his own character on Fallout 76. Well, I guess some guy, he's trolling or whatever, went on and actually found that he found his camp, or whatever he's on, and actually nuked his camp. So like somehow he got so good, he got into it. And again, some people are saying the guy was like frustrated because he got laid off, or he had friends that are laid off because they've been doing a lot of layoffs at studios, right? Right now, just because of profits and everything. Even though they're grabbing me, Bethesda and Xbox are grabbing me for 12 bangs.
Yeah. Right.
So, anyways, he went on, he did it. So I guess I'm trying to find his behavior. His name was @real1090jake. He's out there, so I guess I can mention it. And he's out playing, and he goes. I was trying to find. I think he released the name of Spencer's person, so you can tell who he is or where he was on there. But he ends up bombing it, and he takes some pictures of himself standing there as his body's like, because he stayed within the blast or something. Was showing it, and it was a lot of fun. There, people just went crazy over it. So. It's kind of the thing to do. But your point is, I forgot how long it takes though to get to that, where you can like build enough stuff. You gotta build something that builds something that builds something that builds something. Yeah. Right.
I think that's why games like that, you can either spend all that time, getting all the resources for that, or you can just take them from somebody else who's already put in that time.
Right.
And that's where the fun comes.
So that's interesting because I just paid $12 to make myself have to go do it myself because there's nobody you can take it from out there ourselves. But they have, like I said, a lot of cool missions and stuff too on it. So it's kind of like Sea of Thieves, right? To some point, right? When we're playing that, I did like the mission side of it. But unlike Sea of Thieves, we couldn't buy a private server. So as soon as we were out there,
there's a single server you can just.
There is.
Yeah. There's been.
Has there?
Yeah.
How come I wasn't on it then? Do you have to pay for it?
No, it's all just free. It's just right on the main menu. You just hit safe seas. And
no, was it that? No, if I remember correctly, wasn't it just like the AI kicking our ass too? Like the pirates and all that type of stuff?
Yeah,
crushed
the
us.
AI are there too.
Yeah. Okay, you just remind me how bad it was. It wasn't even people.
Well,
it was like the computer doing it. All right, what else is in the news? I was real excited to see this. So again, you play a lot of solos. I hate solos. I like playing co-op or whatever, right? Well, finally, they came out and said they finished whatever that Hogwarts Legacy stuff they've been working on. The Xbox, is it Xbox Studio? One of them did. Doing that whole RPG deal. Well, they finally finished
what is it?
The Hogwarts RPG. It's called Hogwarts Legacy, I think it is.
That's been out for a while.
I know, but they were talking about now they're drumming up and they're building another game.
A sequel?
No, just a whole other game, and it's called... What is it called? Contraband is what it's called. And Contraband, I gotta find it here, is a game that is co-op based. So it's just like, it's kind of like Army of Two. Yeah. That was a game that I remember playing. That was awesome co-op. Yeah. What are some others? Any of your Call of Duties that did the campaigns, right? The co-op campaigns and all that. That was really cool. I was trying to find the information on it, but it was, it's called Contraband. So if you take a look, there it is. The co-op heist, it's a heist shooter set in the fictional world of the 70s.
It's set in the Harry Potter thing?
No, it's just, they're done doing that.
The developers.
The developers that did the Harry Potter. Oh, that'd be funny, actually. No, it developed in the 70s, and again, it's Contraband, right? So you gotta figure, it's, Avalanche Software and Xbox Game Studios is one that was doing it. It's gonna be coming on the pass. it's very similar to like Battlefield, that was another one, right? Payday. Driver, there's a bunch of them that they've been working on. So it might be, it actually looks pretty cool. So I don't know, just as soon as I see co-op, I get excited about it because there's not a ton of those out there, right? That you can do. So, so that is the games coming out soon. What else is out there?
What, there's new games coming out?
Well, there was something else we saw that caught my eye. Oh, because I'm a Zelda fan. There's a free download. I guess they're coming out. Classic Zelda. But they said it was a game. Hang on. So The Legend of Zelda was first released. Do you remember when it was released?
The very first one?
Yeah.
No, like 1986. 86.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. They're talking about they're coming out with it, but there's this new game called Quest Master. and it's you can actually, if you look it up, you can check it out. They said it's kind of setting. It's like it's kind of got the Zelda feel to it, right?
Yeah.
And it's for Nintendo Switch, I believe. So it's going to be out, and I guess everybody's talking it up. And it's an indie game, so whoever's making it, right? It's gonna take off, and they're gonna do well and hire. Of course, I don't know if it's gonna be bad like that. What is that one game that they had came out? Everybody jumped on it for the longest time, and they like hired, and then everybody jumped off of it, and they had the fire. It was the Quest game. It had the logo that was like this, with the 2 dots or whatever. It came out for a while. It was a shooter game. Do you remember it?
A Quest game?
No, it was like a shooter game, and everybody jumped on board because I thought, it was like Portals. Remember where you could go through one portal? Splitgate. Is that even going anymore?
I don't know, but why? What is it?
Well, the thing about that was, remember, there was only like 2 dudes in a server, and it took off. And then so they hired and they upscaled and everything. They got all this investor money and everything. And then everybody kind of went, okay, I'm done. So I don't know if that's going to be with this or not. But
maybe.
It's called Questmaster on it. So it's something to take a look at and see if it's something that's playable. But anytime we're talking Zelda or we're talking a game like that, it's worth checking out for sure to see. So, and I think I don't know if it's just Nintendo Switch though, but because I thought it said initially it was going to be across the board, but maybe not. Maybe it was just for that. I had to go back and try to look at it. If I see it, I'll bring it up again. But anyways, so yeah, Questmaster, and that's next. Lastly, I think there was a conversation I was looking at too, and it was talking about AI, right? So everybody's talking about AI, and I'm really kind of watching AI for video games just to see what it's really going to do, right? I mean, it's revolutionizing everything for businesses, everything across the board. But it seems like for video games, right? I mean, especially like Nvidia taking off and everything. I mean, it's all video based, right?
Yeah.
How can we make that work? Well, EA, which is obviously arguably one of the top developers or publishers, right? Came out and said that AI, they believe more than 50% of their development process will be impacted by AI now in the coming year. I mean, in the coming year? I mean, just recently it's saying that. So it's not like we're talking, within 10 years, 20 years, whatever.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting, especially when you start talking about layoffs too, right? EA laying off 5%, all these things. It's like how much coding is going to be done, right? And how much can you do that? I mean, if you take a look at AI, can they actually design the ultimate game for
I don't think it's there yet because there's so many specific things that can go wrong with coding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it'll trim down the time it takes a little bit right now.
Yeah, well, what I think is happening, and I kind of mentioned it too, is that I think it may actually help the games early on too, because it's going to be able to put a time for people to put into the actual fun part of the game, or the stuff that the design development.
Yeah.
Because a lot of part of if they come out faster is because they have to do the mundane coding, right? So if this takes over that, it says go from here to here, this is what I want, it goes, does it?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, because it's not only huge for big studios and everything to get games out, but for people who don't have any experience in coding whatsoever, and they want a game to be made, it might in the next decade or so just be really easy for somebody to say, I want to play a game like this, and then
make it
like a month later it's made.
I don't know if it'll be as detailed as some of the stuff, but it'll still be cool, I think.
I don't know.
But you never know, rendering now and how you can do it. If you got, maybe it's like you find a videographer or somebody that can do it, and you take the video and it renders the video into the game, right? So now you can go make a movie and then make the movie a game. Does that make sense? I mean, going back to what is it? What was that Quest, that cartoon game or game back in the day? Oh, come on, Dragon's Lair. That was it. If you look it up, it's Dragon's Lair. It was one of the first games that was kind of like a cartoon. You moved a cartoon character in the arcade world. Do you remember you ever talking about that? It's like a real skinny, dumb-looking knight dude, and he has to go through and he has to jump over things, and he failed. That was probably the most expensive game I've ever played in my life, because as a kid, you'd only get through I don't know, and this is, again, here's a generational difference conversation, is that you only made it through the first 2 minutes of the game, not even 2 minutes of the game, 2 scenes of the game, and you die. And you die 3 times, and your quarter's gone. and I would drop more. I probably had. It has to be the most expensive game I ever played.
Yeah.
And I never even came close to solving it.
Yeah.
I might have gotten like 5 or 6 different things, different, what do they call them? Like levels now, we would call them.
Huh.
But I don't know what they were back then. But look it up. Dragon Quest. Good stuff. So, all right. I think that's it for the news.
This concludes your Joystick News Report.
Joystick News. All right, so that's the news. What else we got coming up? Do we have anything for the Riff Rap? So again, don't see much. I got to leave that up to you to know. Is there anything cooking on it? Is anybody talking about it? You got friends that still bought the game, played the game, or have the headsets? Anything cooking?
No, like nothing.
Should I go and buy that Quest 3 just because it's cool? I want the
If
Apple.
you want it.
I want the Apple thing, but I'm not spending 3 Gs.
I don't know. I mean, if you want it, it's not. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just there's nothing happening with those right now
that's really exciting.
in the market, and when there's not anything happening,
Yeah.
nobody wants to.
Well, the worst thing is I need to take my advice that I gave to the Rumble Pack. I got to be honest on it and being full transparent. I never went in and changed our Oculus thing like I told everybody to do.
Yeah.
I got this email and it came back from Meta. Said, hey, you set up your account. I'm like, oh, should I have to do that? But I think it was after the day, or maybe it was before. Anyways, long story short, I think I mentioned this last time, right? I couldn't get the code, tried to do the code.
Yeah.
I spent about, I don't know, a week and a half going back and forth with them. They keep asking me for like the social security number of my headset. I'm like, I don't even have my headset out. I mean, I don't even know where it is. It wasn't even worth the time. It wasn't even worth it. So I blew it off. So I don't even know. We don't even have our games anymore on it, I don't think.
Yeah, we only had a few on Oculus though.
Yeah, a lot of it was
Like
Steam
2,
based.
yeah, a lot
right?
of it was
Anyways,
Steam.
yeah. So, all right. So let's move to the deal.
Deal of the week.
What is that deal? Speaking of Dragon's Quest, I was looking at. Is there any game deals that you see? I mean, can you say that the PS5 is a good deal now? The Plus.
The PS Plus.
Still a good deal.
I think so. I think it's just as good a deal as Game Pass is.
Yeah.
There's a ton of games on
Never
PS
used to be.
Plus. Maybe, yeah. I think I got to it a pretty good time because I've already gotten my yearly money's worth of it.
Oh, I'm sure.
The games that I've played and enjoyed, I've been
Right.
over the price of it.
Yeah.
And now I have it for another 6 months, 7
Right.
months
Yeah.
of just whatever
Whatever you wanna
I
play.
want. And so it's 100% worth it. And I know they just released 2K on it as well. 2K24.
Oh wow. Okay.
NBA 2K24, which is a fairly new one for them to do. And this, I think they haven't really done much sports. I don't think they did many like sports games on it before. So they're releasing a lot more on it, and it's definitely worth it. So yeah, passes are good.
I just saw. Well, it's actually for the PS4. I was thinking for the PS5, but Kingdom Come. Do you remember that Deliverance game?
Yeah.
It's an older game, but it was like $4, $4 or $5 on it. And I thought, you know what? If you're looking for it, I think there's. Where is that at? I think you can find it. I think it's
The
a Play
PlayStation
Store.
Store for $5.
Yeah, but again, it's for PS4. So if you got a PS4, I bet there's some really good deals then, right? Folks are still doing it. Keep it on there. So because that was a really cool game. That's still a game I wanted to play more of. I think I played it. Where did I play it once?
I didn't try it.
No.
No.
I wonder if you can download it off of yours and try it. Right? Can you do what's it called when you play the game lower on the console? Hello.
When you play the game, what?
When you play games for the older consoles.
Backwards compatible?
Thank you. Yeah. Wow.
But that's if you're. Wait.
Is that backwards compatible? Can you play Kingdom Come because it's a PS4 game?
Yeah, I mean, if you.
Okay, because a lot of times when it first came out, I remember there was very few games backward compatible with the 4 from the 3. And I couldn't remember his
everything
5.
is backwards compatible from the 4 to the 5.
Oh, it is?
Everything.
Okay.
The 5, they didn't do much. It's because they didn't do much change. Same with the Xbox Series S or the X.
Yeah, but
Series
X
X.
always did backwards compatible for not all games. Most.
No, but the thing is, yeah, exactly, most. So the 360 to the 1 was, it's a completely new console with a completely new layout and everything. From the 1 to the Series X, it's almost like Apple iPhones where they get software updates.
Yeah.
So it's all in the same software.
Gotcha.
So if you're looking at the PlayStation 5 store, you're looking at the PS4 store. It's the same exact thing. You're just on something that can run it better.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Well, then you should be able to play this game, Kingdom Come, which is something I want to try. You should download it for me because I think I played it a while back and liked it and just didn't get a chance to play it. I wanted to play it a little bit more and see. All right, and lastly, new releases. We're talking about some May. We're the 9th of May right now?
Yeah.
Right? What are some games? You know some good games coming out that you've seen for the release of May?
For May?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. There is the F1 game. F1's coming out, 2024.
Okay. That's a big one. That's the end of the month, right?
Yeah.
What is the Multiverses?
I'm not sure. No idea.
I don't know what that is, but that's coming out.
Month of May. I can't think of anything coming out.
June, Destiny 2: The Final Shape.
So that's supposed to be the last update for Destiny.
I mean, they're
Destiny
actually
2.
Really the last one.
Yeah, but I thought the one before this was the last one.
It's kind of like Kiss on tour. It's like the final tour of Kiss. They've done like 18 final tours.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, but
it's supposed to be.
Elden Ring: Shadow of the Etri.
That's the first DLC that people are kind of excited for.
It is. That's coming out on June 21st, actually, so it's not May, but some good stuff coming up on it. So some good DLCs then, huh?
Yeah.
On the line. Cool. All right. Well, we'll hit some more later on as we get through it. That's it. We got a nice little storm kicking in too, right? Good timing of that. That's not sound effects.
Yeah.
Are you putting sound effects in this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, folks. Thanks so much for listening each and every month. If you want to be a part of the show, join the show, how do they get a hold of us?
You can get hold of us at joystick_show on Twitter, joystickshow.com, joystickshow@gmail.com, or Discord Joystick Show.
Very cool.
Joystick, the Joystick Show.